week on What's in My Kit, I'm talking to you guys about traveling, but specifically on the topic of makeup. Pack a little smarter when it comes to what makeup you're actually going to use and bring and what you absolutely need on vacation, so that you could be spending the most time out enjoying wherever it is that you spent your money to go see and not spending a ton of time on your face. And how to scale it down so you could really have a smaller bag in your luggage as well. Okay, so first off, I want to start by showing you guys. So this, I fit all of my makeup in here. No matter how long I'm gone, I always make sure I don't pack any more makeup than what fits in this. Now this bag is super awesome because obviously you can fit all your makeup on the inside, but on the front you also have this amazing little brush roll to keep all of your brushes separate than your makeup. And then second to that, I also bring a mesh bag just because sometimes, you know, you want to keep the items that are dirty separate so they don't breed bacteria. So I put my dirty brushes, my dirty beauty blender, my dirty palette, whatever I have that needs to be cleaned, I put it in here so that it can kind of air out without getting anything else dirty. So that's what I pack everything in. Now, the other tips I could definitely recommend to you is if you're going on a quick little weekend vacation, you do not need this. However, I'm gonna be gone for over 10 days. Just like enough beauty blenders for that time would take up pretty much that whole bag. So I'm showing you guys like a couple quick little extra things you could do so that you really don't need to be using the same dirty things. So I bring a small little travel size brush cleaner. And yes, I actually will clean my brushes. I'm using dirty brushes for that long, like it will make me break out, so I just need to be smart about it, as well as I can pack less brushes if I bring a brush cleaner. I also bring this tiny little bottle of beauty blender cleaner, and I know, but my skin is that bad. If I continue to use a dirty beauty blender for 10 days, my skin will be so broken out when I get home. For me, it's really not worth it, and I would rather just bring my beauty blender cleaner, and then I'll bring 2 beauty blenders so that I don't have to clean my blender every single day. Now, as far as the makeup goes, I try to buy as much of the smaller travel size makeups, but some makeups just, either they don't have the exact product in a travel size, so I can't buy that, or the product itself is fairly small and compact, so it's not gonna make much of a difference if I get a slightly smaller version, or just use the version that I already have without spending extra money. So no matter where I'm going, I always bring at least a nude or a pinkish nude. This is a liquid matte lipstick, as well as a red, because honestly, you never know when you're gonna wanna like, oh, I don't have time to actually put my makeup on, let me just throw a red lip on. So I'm gonna show you this look and how I went from a daytime look and bumped it up to this look for a little bit more of a nighttime look, but also how you could go even further and bump this up too. So I'm getting started with my Cover FX Mattifying Primer. And this is the travel size. Now I'm gonna move on to my under eye primer, which is an anti-fatigue under eye primer, and honestly I can't live without it. And it's a newer product, so they haven't come out with a smaller travel size, but this is really compact anyways, and it's not gonna make much of a difference. I'm going to do my Becca under eye brightening. This is the like pinky peach tone, which really corrects like under eye bags, which I don't really have bad bags, but when you're traveling, I don't necessarily tend to get a ton of sleep, obviously, because I want to enjoy and spend the most time outside, so. And then this way, every day, you're gonna look bright and fresh. And this as well. I believe they do actually have a small version of this, but this is pretty small on its own, so I can't imagine how much smaller it's gonna be. It really isn't gonna make a difference in your luggage, so I just have the full size that I bring. And then obviously I bring several, right, so this is one of the largest products I keep in my thing, but they don't make the Laura Mercier oil-free tinted moisturizer in like the smaller compact travel sizes, so I'm not gonna go with the regular one because it just doesn't sit on my face right, and it also kind of makes me break out a little bit, so I need the oil-free. If you don't, they do have this in a travel size. Now, I would recommend that you bring something, if you're gonna be somewhere like bright and tropical, bring something that you can adjust your color with. So I don't tan my face, so I need my face to match my body, which is pretty tan right now. So this is a little bit of like a darker tanner tinted moisturizer. If not, you know, it's always good if you're going somewhere tropical to also bring a bronzer that you can kind of just bronze up your whole face to match your body. Now normally I tend to do this tinted moisturizer just for like my daytime look, so I have some sunscreen and a little bit of coverage. But for the sake of packing smart, this is actually the only foundation I'm gonna bring with me. And then I'm only just gonna bring like concealer, so that if there's anything I feel like needs more coverage, I'll just use a concealer. Okay, so now I'm moving on to my NARS highlighter. This is technically the NARS concealer, but I use it as an under eye highlighter, and this is the travel size. I don't want to use too much highlighter because obviously I'm doing a daytime look first. So it's really just to kind of like a little bit more coverage and to brighten up my face. But you don't want that like heavy highlight because my foundation isn't heavy, so it kind of needs to match the coverage slightly. Now another way that obviously you could, instead of a powder bronzer, you could use your contour stick. Now, this is the nude stick, and it's very light, so I use it during the daytime just to give my skin an all over like little bit more of a bronze look, as well as the additional coverage. So my Becca under eye setting powder. Now again, this is a newer product, so if they do have a travel size, I just haven't seen it. But like I said, these products aren't huge, so it's not going to make a huge difference. This adorable tiny little puff comes with my Laura Mercier travel size powder, but it's literally perfect for your under eyes. It's the only like puff I use like this because it's the perfect size. But it already comes with the powder, and the Laura Mercier setting powder is my favorite powder. Okay, so I'm starting with a daytime look. I'm just going to go in with, so this is the Cover FX, and I'm just using it as a liquid highlighter on my cheek. It's the only highlighter I'm going to be using. Now I'm going in with my Hoola bronzer. This is the small like travel size one. I'm bringing it down a tiny bit because I'm using it to contour as well as just like bronze and blush my cheeks. It's kind of an all-in-one for this daytime look. These both come in the small like travel size version. It's the Goof Proof Brow by Benefit. Perfect, so that was just to kind of fill in and get the correct shape. Now I'm going to brush through. Okay, now we're moving on to my Gimme Brow. So this is a Laura Mercier, it's a travel size. It's just kind of like a roll, like a crayon concealer, but I use it for under my eyes. Sometimes I even add a tiny bit to in here, just to like lighten up my eyes and give me like a really fresh look. Okay, so at this point, I'm pretty much done. I would apply my lashes, but depending on the type of vacation, I bring different eyelashes. And yes, I realize how that sounds, but if I'm going somewhere tropical, or if I know I'm gonna be like doing a lot of activities or in and out of water, I do these Kiss. They're kind of like individuals, but they're like the trio. They stay really well, and they're also very natural. I'm not going on a tropical vacation, but I will be doing like more activities and stuff, so I will be bringing these. But I will also bring my 318 Accents, which is great for a daytime look. I would just apply them to the edge with a little mascara. But since I told you I would show you from a day to nighttime, I'm going to show you how to bump this look up to more of a nighttime look without spending a ton of time. I'm going to go back to my liquid highlighter, a small brush. I'm just tapping this onto the lid of my eyes. I'm using the highlighter on my eyes like eyeshadow so that it's easy, quick, and yet pretty. It gives like a very nice soft look, but without bringing even more products than what I've already showed you. So in lieu of eyeshadow, I'm going back to my Hoola bronzer, and this is a double-sided brush, so it also saves space. So this is the fluffier blending edge. And I'm just kind of doing this a little bit in the crease. So now you kind of have like a glowy, bronzy eye, and it doesn't require any more products. It takes 2 minutes. Throw it on the bottom as well. Okay, so that's as simple as it is. If you're an eyeliner person, eyeliner is a great way. It's a small product that's easy to bump up a look. But I'm just gonna do a little bit of a brown. Now I'm moving on to my eyelashes. And if you've watched any of my other videos, I always go with the Demi Wispies, and traveling is no different. So this is also a really great travel case for eyelashes. So what I do with this, I normally have 2 pairs of my Demi Wispies, and then I also throw my 318s in here as well because there's a spot for 3 eyelashes. And down here there's storage for, like, you can put your glue in here, you can put some tweezers, whatever you need to apply these lashes fits in here perfectly. And the other great thing about this little travel case is it has a mirror on the inside as well. So, okay, now I'm moving on to my mascara. I have this little travel size. Next, I have my small little Becca travel size highlighter, a setting spray. Now, if you want to add a blush to like bump up your look even more opposed to just a bronzer, I recommend this small NARS Duo. It's my favorite NARS blush, Orgasm. It kind of goes well with everyone as well as with like a tiny little bronzer. And last but certainly not least, I'm just going to throw on a lip because obviously if you're trying to change this to a night look, throw a lip in there. Since this is still a very soft bronzy look, I'm going with like a mauvey pink. But if you're trying to do like super bold, you can throw on like a red lip with this and it would really just give it like a totally different like nighttime look.